Hey guys, Nigel here with you again with another product review, and this time we're going to look at some Eduard stuff, or Eduard. I call them Eduard. As some of you will know, with the stinky cold and everything, I've been playing around with this thing again. This is the Hong Kong Models B-17G. This is the G version with the front turret. This is the initial release, and it's got a lot of errors, it's got a lot of issues and a lot of corrections required if you want it to look right. Now, I've seen a few of these built and they look lovely, don't get me wrong, they're lovely models, and if you do a really nice job you can make a beautiful representation of a B-17. But it's a plane that I have looked at a lot since I was an amoeba, and basically to me the model out of the box just doesn't look right. The biggest thing is just the big round nose on it rather than the flattened off area. And I keep looking at drawings, I keep looking at photographs, and I've actually just discovered something now after all the time looking at it, that this astrodome in the nose on the G is too far forward. And you can see I've moved it back. I think it's about 4mm I've moved it back. Yeah, it's about 4mm. So it's slightly wider there because of the saw cuts and everything, but I've moved it back about 4mm. As you can see here, I've changed all the size of the windows and everything. I've actually shortened the nose slightly as well, and I've also moved this upper piece back to get the windscreen looking better. But you can see I've been adding tape and stuff and drawing on here to get the right, and you can see now we've got a sort of profile that looks a lot more B-17G-ish rather than the big bulbous round nose. Because they had a big round nose, the windscreen was set up too high. But anyway, enough of that. So I got this kit many moons ago when it first came out, and at the time I used to do a lot of reviews on large scale planes and also did some on large scale modelers. And I got in touch with Eduard and I said, you know, would you like to sponsor me in, you know, sending me some stuff that I'll review and cover on my channel, on large scale planes, and basically you know, hopefully get some sales from wherever. And they agreed. So they sent me a lot of the photo etch that I showed you last week for the B-17. They sent me a lot of that. They also sent me a full set of photo etch that they had at the time for the F4U bird cage, which I got in the box unstarted. But they in that they also sent me the engines, and you can see on here I've got here Eduard B-17 and F4U1. So in here is the Resin set. Now this is they call this the Big Sin, as you can see down here. This is the engine set, and this is all 4 engines for the B-17. They also sent me, like, completely forgotten about, they've sent me the Resin guns as well. You can see we've got a lot of Resin guns in here for the B-17. One of the issues with HK models, the B-25 and the B-17, they've made all the gun breeches different lengths. So that's not right. So you've actually got different length barrels and different length breeches for the guns, and it's a bit, you know, sort of, why have they done that? So when you actually buy the Profi modeler brass barrels for the guns, they will all come in the different lengths as they are in the kit, so they're a direct replacement. Whereas if you get the Eduard guns or you get Aftermarket Resin guns, then you'll find they're all the same, because in reality they should all be the same. They shouldn't be longer and shorter and everything. So that's those there, and you can see in the back of here we've basically got we've got 4 of those. That's the R30, R31, R32. They're going to be lefts and rights and things. Some have got handles on the back, so we've got left and right there without any handles on the back. As you can see, we've got 3 pieces of the and 2 pieces of those. So you've got here with the handles on the back. So that's going to be one for the rear, coming out of the for here, and then there's going to be 2 coming out of there on the nose. They're going to have the grab handles, and then you're going to have the 2 on the sides as well. So that's going to make 5, and you've indeed got 5 there. But then these are all going to be for turrets. And then you've got the mountings and everything, which you don't get in the kit. So we've also got some photo etch. So let's have a quick look in here. I don't think I've ever opened these actually. I must have done to review them, because I would review them on large scale planes or large scale modeler. So there we go. So the paper comes out like that, and then in here we have the photo etch. You can see there the very fine gun sights and everything in there. And then here we've actually got all our resin guns and all our resin bits and pieces. You can see the barrels are bent on there. This is beauty of resin. If you're not going to use brass barrels, put that in some hot water, just straighten it out and it'll go straight back straight again. But you can see on these that the actual detail on the guns is much better than you get on any plastic. But you may decide not to bother because, you know, I don't think I'll pack them up like that again, because basically a lot of it is detail you're not going to see. So I'm going to put that to one side and repackage them a different way, perhaps without all the foam, because I think I've probably done all that bending. And then when it comes to the engines, basically the Hong Kong models engines, this is what you get. Okay, so you get the cowling, you get the flaps at the back, you get the engine itself and the push rod. So I've got tape on here so I can't get it apart, but you've got a separate ring of push rod, you've got the front gearbox, you've got the actual cylinders themselves, and that's it. And it's a very simple construction, and also the cowling, the shape is incorrect, it's wrong. So if you're going to town and building a super detailed B-17, you might want to consider replacing these, because they are, as you can see, they are quite simple. Now, there's nothing wrong if you're going to paint them up, give them a dry brush, whatever, add some ignition leads and that, they're going to look absolutely fine. But in case you want to go the whole hog, I thought I'd just show you these because I've got them here. Another thing which is nice with these, if you look at a B-17 F or G, you will see that the nose of the gearbox just sticks out. I've learnt this tonight from a guy on large scale planes. The nose of the gearbox just sticks out. If you have an early narrow chord prop, like on an E or a C or whatever, then the actual cowling is longer. Nothing changed on the engine, they just made the cowling deeper. So so basically F or G, you should be able to see the front of the gearbox just poking out. But as I say, on here, this actual cowling shape, the actual contour here is incorrect. But you know, hey. So what I've got here, this is the big sin, and this is all 4 engines. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to do this is when I looked on the Eduard website, I noticed they do these individually. They're all different. 1, 2, 3 and 4 are all different. I can't see what the difference is, but they are actually different. You can see them here. They've got engine number 1, engine number 2, engine number 3 and engine number 4. So there are differences there. But basically, number 1 has been discontinued. Okay, obviously sold out. 2, 3 and 4 are still available, and they've got this big sin resin set there on the website, but they've only got 3 left. So I thought, well, I'll do this, and then just people can see what's going on. But you can see in here you're getting a lot of resin. I think this is about 40 quid, 40, 50 pounds maybe. So, you know, it may be out of your budget, but it may be something you'll think about getting. And if you are going to get one, I would get one now if you plan on getting one for the future, because it looks like they're all selling out. So we've got here engine number 3, engine number 2, engine number 1 and engine number 4. Right, so we'll have a look through these. So I haven't printed these instructions off because this is what comes with the set. As you know, with Eduard, I normally do a print off of the larger set. So let's have a look at engine number 1. So basically what we're getting in here, let's zoom you in a touch. There we go. So you can see on here, they're giving you colour call-outs in the Mr. Colour range. Okay, you've got on here, you've got all the resin parts that are included, and you can see here we've got the cowl flaps are also replaced in the resin. We've also got the actual cowl itself, but you've also got cowling sections so you can have them open, so you can have them displayed, sat on a dolly, sat on the ground, or you've got a fully closed one as well. So going through the instructions here, they're telling you to glue the gearbox onto the actual radial engine itself, and then you've got a I believe is that going to be an oil pump, or is that going to be a magneto? I'm not sure. And then we've got some bits and pieces, some PE detail pieces going on here. So you've got there's going to be the throttle cables, and then you've got all your cooling pipes and everything here that are going down through. It looks like that is the oil pump. We've got the intake ring going on there. Sorry, that's not the intake ring, that's the ignition ring. So the ignition ring going on there. And then when we go to the next page, okay, remember this is just one engine, you have to do this 4 times. over the page there. This is page 4 and this is page 3. So we're going to add our ignition leads onto the engine there, and then we've got the ring going around the outside that's going to support the cowl. It's got some detail vision here of where all the bits and pieces go. Okay, and there, and then we've got some 9 pieces up there. We've got some little snubbers going on there. It looks like the cowl's going to sit on those. So it's fully detailed. This is on the back of the engine now, and this is the intakes been added. Is that intakes or exhausts? Not sure. I think that's intakes. And then we're going to turn it around. Yeah, there's the exhaust. So that's the intake ring going on there. And then we've got the actual cowling open flaps going on there. All the actuator rods to go in here. They're asking you to use wire. And then you've got the exhaust going in. Okay, and then you've got the bulkhead there, which is a nice touch going in. So with the cowl flaps open, you're going to look down in there, look down in here, and instead of just seeing the back of the engine or whatever, you're going to see the exhaust. You're going to see this ring in here, which is going to be bright aluminium, so it's going to stand out, and it's going to look lovely, especially if you have your covers off. And then here we've got the plastic part. This is the part of the exhaust going up to the turbocharger, and you can see here it's telling you to cut it off. Now, if you remember last week, I did a review of the Eduard resin turbocharger pipes, and they told you to cut this part off the plastic. So basically, you're not going to use any of the plastic parts at all if you get these sets. So that's that. Okay, and we can see there, let's give you a close-up look. You can see there's the engine there with all the bits and pieces on it. And if you look around on the internet, you will find some beautiful images of these engines built and painted up, and they do look stunning. So let's just get one out. Now, what I don't know is, just looking on here, looking on the back, so I don't know what the difference is in the engines. All the engines are R19. Okay, so it's the exhausts that are different there. Yeah, so you've got different exhausts. You've got different flaps. So you've got 20, 26, 20, 23. So 1 and 4 have the same cowling flaps. The actual cowling covers themselves are the same. All those bits across the top are the same by the look of it. So it's actually the cowling flaps and the exhaust that make the difference. And there may be some differences in the photo etch, I'm not sure. So there we go. So you could actually get, just looking on here, if you can't get number 1, you could get number 4. It's the same if the photo etch is the same. It certainly looks that way, excuse me. It certainly looks like it's the same. So if you can't get number 1, get 2 number 4s. Alright, if you want to buy them individually. So let's have a look at the engine parts here. So on the back of here, so there's the actual resin cast engine itself, and it is stunning. It is beautiful. It looks like it's been 3D printed, and then a silicone mold has been made of the 3D print. So basically you're just going to cut all those, you can see on the back here, you're going to cut all those lugs off of those intakes and just polish them up. But you can see on there the actual detail on the engine is really nice. Very nice indeed. So that's your resin engine. And then we've got, this is the cowling. So here's your actual cowling. You can see that there, and if we compare that to the plastic kit part, you can see the difference in the depth and in the form. So it's actually a different size, and you can see the form is completely different. Okay, so that's going to make a big difference. And then here you've got this rear bulkhead with the heat deflector, which is beautifully detailed. So your engine's going to sit on there once you've got all this, once you've taken this mold plug off, the engine's going to sit in there. So there's that. Then we've got here, we've got the cowl flaps, again in the open position, but on the back of here, if you look at these plastic parts, there's nothing on there at all. Okay, but if you look at the resin, you've got the actuators in there, which all look lovely. And then you're adding wire rod in there as well, which is going to really make it all pop. And then we've got here, we've got exhausts. So I'm not sure which one this is. This is part number 22. So again, we've got these exhausts which are beautifully cast in resin. So they're very nice indeed. And they're going to sit in the back of your engine once you get that mold plug off the back. What else? Oh, we got here, we've got a bag of the separate cowling pieces. Come on out. Here we go. So here we've got the separate cowling pieces, and we've got all the internal details. So there's the external finish on there. You can see you've got all the scribe lines and everything on there. But then you've also got all the interior details. So if you wanted to do a diorama and you're having maintenance guys working on the engine, whatever, and you can have these just laying on the ground, you're not just going to see the, you know, the plain inside. They've actually got the molded on detail on them. So they're giving you the option there. There's no cutting, no splitting. You can just use the parts. So here we've got some, this is some individual parts. And remember guys, everything I've got here, this is just one engine. So you get 4 times this in the pack. So it's a lot of resin. Excuse me. Still got this bloody cold. So there's the gearbox, which is beautifully done. Got some resin to cut off the back of there. You can see there's the gearbox with all the bolt detail, everything on there. It's very nicely done indeed. And then we've got there's an oil pipe there, some sort of fluid line. I'm assuming it's an oil pipe. And there's another one there. And then we've got the magneto, and I believe the oil pump, is it, at the bottom? It goes on the bottom of the gearbox. Yeah, so those there, really nice. Got some push rods, which have got the rubber hose and jubilee clip on the end. Just look lovely. They're going to pop with a nicely painted and a bit of a wash on them. Got some more push rods in there. Got some more. This is going to be your ignition ring there. So that's molded in 2 halves. So there's one half and there's the other. Okay, so you can see it's all beautifully done. And then you've got a spare one there, I believe, or is it 3 parts? And then here we've got, these are the snubbers that go on the engine. Come on, camera focus. And they're going to support the cowling that goes around the engine. So that's going to fit around there like so. And those little resin pieces are going to go on here and actually have that all mounted up. So there we go, and you can see what you're getting in the box is lots. Oh, the photo etch. We've got 4 lots of photo etch in here. So let's get these out and have a look. Got a little one here at the back, which looks like it's pre-painted, so it's a placard detail, I believe. So yeah, that's got some placard detail on it there. You can see it's very nicely done. And then this one, this is going to be you've got across the top there, you've got your rings that go around for mounting the cowl, and then the rest of it is your ignition leads, which in 30-second scale you may want to replace with wire, because in 30-second scale having 2D flat etched brass looks a bit dodgy. Or you can put these on and then go over with a coat of gloss paint, let it dry, put another coat on, and the gloss paint will build on the surface and thin out the edges and make it look round. So that's probably what I would do. But yeah, but it's all very nice that it's in there anyway. So that is basically that, and that is one engine set. So you've got all those parts there to replace that there. There we go. So, you know, depending on how far you want to go with your model, how much you want to detail it, you know, you might want to do this or not. But I thought, I've got them here. They're going out of stock. They're being discontinued. So, let's let you guys know they're there. And if you want some, you can get them. So, thanks for watching. And I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.